Well, welcome to the Global Village TV broadcast today, and I'm thrilled to be the host today, and my name is Grant Jensen, and I have with me a couple of guests today that I've had the privilege of knowing for a while, for both of you. So I'd like to introduce, first of all, Viviana Ruiz, and then also Virendra Singh, better known as VK to his friends. So welcome. Thanks for being with us here today.
Thank you very much.
So today we'd just like to ask you a few questions, and maybe for the both of you, tell us a little bit about your background and where you come from and how you came to be in Canada. So Viviana, you first.
Well, thank you for having me. It's an honor. I'm originally from Mexico, and we came 16 years ago, January 24th, 2019. My husband came 2 months prior. Our family moved here. He was previously working in the oil and gas industry in Mexico, so he got hired to come to work in Canada, and we tag along.
That's great.
Yeah, so we came with our 2 children. Paula, she was 2 at that time, and Alonso was 6 years old. So yeah, we moved to the cold Canada, and it was actually, we were going to come for just 2 years, and here we are.
Mm-hmm. Great. And in Mexico, what did you do? You guys were young family just starting out, but
yeah. So my husband is an engineer, so he was working over there as an engineer. I finished business in Mexico, and I was working as a teacher in a private school, and also as a business in my dad's construction company. So we have several jobs there, and we gave up everything and just start following my husband's dream, and it became our dream too.
Great. VK, what's your story?
Oh, it's a novel story. So I was teaching in India, graduate, postgraduate students, chemistry. And all of a sudden, I had a couple of students there. They started, bugging me that why you are here, why don't you go to some foreign land and, seek the opportunities there. And I just wanted to pursue the postdoc research here. So in 2011, I came here. So, and then after did a couple of odd jobs and finally end up with a brewmaster.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah.
So for both of you, tell us a little bit. VK, we'll start with you. Moving to a brand new culture and a brand new country, there has to be some struggles that are associated with that. Can you sort of talk a little bit about maybe some of the struggles that you had when you first emigrated?
Yeah, means that first I was thinking that I'll get the job in my specific area of chemistry. That was definitely a struggle. I couldn't get that job. Calgary has 200 labs of in chemical analysis or some sort of doing a chemistry areas. But that was a very, because I have no Canadian credentials, no Canadian experience, so nobody hired me. And finally, I end up with a job in liquor store. And then I thought that let's do this in a better way. So then I learned a lot how to manage the store, and so that was basically my struggle. Otherwise, people are nice, friendly, very helpful. They guided me that you have to do this and you have to do this. And so even I went to University of Calgary, they guided me that how I can pursue my further education. But I think that was very late at that particular age. So I thought that whatever I have to give it my best.
Right. So really, it sort of had to be a career change from what you were doing.
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
India.
definitely,
So,
yeah. Teaching is still my one of the passions of, right. So, and but I couldn't get that one. But whatever I'm doing is definitely related to the chemistry, and I'm really enjoying it. So that's the point.
Yeah. And Viviana, how about you? Any struggles that you can recall?
Many.
Yeah, more than one.
More than one. The first of all, I think like it was family.
Yeah.
Mexicans were very family oriented. Like everything is family. We gather together, we eat together, we do parties together. So for us, for moving to another country, another culture, another weather, it was a struggle. I found out like I was not depressed, but I was sad. The first few months, I was sad to not have my family support. We didn't know anybody here, so it was hard to adjust to being alone with our kids and just the four of us. Thankfully, we find a church and we start finding a community for us, and we're very blessed for that. But yeah, it was a struggle. The kids didn't speak any English, so Alonso was grade 6, so he started grade 1 with no English. And I remember him saying, "Mom, like I don't know what the teacher said, but if everybody stand up, I stand up. If everybody raise their hand, I raise my hand." So I feel for him was the most struggle because he came with no understanding of what was going on, right? And just put him in a school with new kids that they didn't speak his language. So it was a struggle too. The weather. So we are from the northwest of Mexico, so it's kind of like the same desert area as Arizona. So yeah, it's hot. So we come in January at minus 24. We left our city at 21 degrees and come to minus 24. So it was shocking. I was like, why people live here? So that was another thing. I couldn't work either because I didn't have a work permit. My husband was working. So it was tough being working mom to not work. I enjoy my kids for sure, but it was hard, and so I decided to volunteer. And like I had to make the best out of it. So I started volunteering in a school where Alonso was attending, and after that I got hired as an EA from there. So when I had my work permit, so.
So it sounds to me like for both of you, the experience of moving to Canada was that you had to be adaptable. And so I know that, the credentials don't necessarily sort of translate into what we're looking for necessarily in Canada. So that's certainly one of the struggles. But how obviously, tell me now about what you're doing now and how you sort of maybe had to sort of adapt and change direction and maybe pivot in your careers so that you can be doing what you're doing now. So Viviana, what are you doing now? And tell us about sort of the journey. That you took to get there.
Yeah, so like I said, I started as an EA, and I feel that it was perfect for me as a mom because I didn't have the support system. So it was good for me to work at school because the same days that our kids were at school, I was at school. I had summers off to spend it with my kids. So it was good. But at the same time, like my credentials, the same were not acceptable here. So I started as an EA. I learned a lot at the school level of like history of Canada, everything. It was a teachable moment for me too. Met a lot of kids, and I worked like that as an EA for 6 years. And after that, I got hired as an admin assist at the junior high. So I was there, and it was a little bit of what I study, some of the financial part of the school. So it was good for me. I'm like, okay, like I started to do a little bit of what I study, and 2 years ago, I got promoted to be the accounting clerk at the school division. So I'm doing that, and I'm accounts receivables. I manage all the accounts for the school division. So it's I feel like a little bit more fulfilled because I'm like, oh, I'm doing a little bit of what I went to school for, and yeah, that has been my journey. My husband's journey was a little bit different. He was hired not as an engineer, but as part of like the oil and gas industry in testing several services that they do there. But he has been taking his education a little bit more farther, being an engineer in Mexico and coming here with like the same, the no credentials, but he has been taking his power engineering to SATE. So yeah, he's furthering his education for sure.
Great. And so for you, VK, coming from a position where you're a teacher, a chemistry professor, and now making beer, tell me about that journey.
So before my research, I did some industrial work, ranging from brewmasters to the blender and blending agent and blending whiskeys, vodkas, and for 2-3 years I was brewmaster. So, and after that I did my PhD and research, and then after I went for teaching. So that industrial experience helped me in getting into the beer industry here. So when I came here, Brooks, 2015, I started thinking of myself, what I am doing and what I need to do. And beer is Canada's culture, so so I thought that why not make a beer. Being a chemist, and chemistry definitely helped me, and I had a industrial experience also. So I started making a beer in my garage with a small plant. People liked it, so I scaled it to the bigger industry. And in 2019 I just started with the Newell Brewing Company, and the people liked my beer, so I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. And so you're making actually the quantities of beer that you're making in Iron Hat now. Tell us a little bit about your market share and how much beer
so
you're making.
we are very growing at either 34% by quarterly. And initially we started with the 10 pallets of beer. Now we are at 100 pallets of beer per month. So it's going crazy. I'm very happy about that. Definitely we are taking over some of the bigger companies in the market. So we are definitely going to acquire their market share.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Sounds like quite a success story.
Oh yeah,
VK.
yeah.
Let's do it. That's great.
Every day we are brewing, every day we are canning, so it's a non-stop. So
that's great. So you've taken the step. You've left your home country. You moved to Canada. You've done a little bit of reinventing yourself and sort of finding a foothold. So what is it that still motivates you to keep working and to keep doing and to keep sort of stay on top and be inspired in your work? What is it that you do that is the secret to that?
Well, for us, is I think our family, our kids. We decided to move to Canada because it was a better place to raise our kids, safe place, more opportunities for work, and now I feel like that is our we strive for that too, for our kids to have a better life. And now they are both in university, so that keeps us going for them, and to see them thrive and having the opportunities that we didn't have when we came. So both of them are at U of A in engineering program. Alonso is in his 4th year, and Paula is in her first year of engineering. So to see that, it just makes it worth it. All the struggles and everything that we went through, it's just worth it to see them thrive. and having those opportunities. So that is our drive. And sometimes like when you were like at minus 25, we remind ourselves, okay, what is the why that we are here instead of being in Mexico at 25 degrees. So that, and we love to help our family there too. So there's that part of for us being here to be able to help our parents, and we miss them a lot, but we have seen how good life here in Canada is, and now this is our home.
That's great. So, how about you, VK? What motivates you? What makes you happy? What gives you inspiration being here and doing what you're doing?
Yeah, so chemistry, experimental, right, subject. So
The mad scientist.
yeah, so the when I make a new beer, I need to experiment with different kinds of hops or yeast or grains, or and then when the end product gives us a smile on the customer's face, that's definitely driving me to do something more good and more better in terms of beer quality or beer flavor or something like that. So definitely whenever a person drinks my beer and he says, oh, what a good beer, so that's definitely drives me to do more and more better.
Great, that's good. So let's just shift gears here a little bit. And let's talk a little bit about when you moved to Canada, and specifically to Brooks. There's certain cultural adjustments that you probably needed to make. So I guess the first question is, what were some of those cultural adjustments or cultural differences that really stood out for you when you first arrived? VK?
In India, there is no sorry or no thank you.
Oh.
So everybody just take it granted.
Yeah.
So when I came here, I need to adjust that one. I need to always say thank you, or feel sorry about if I did something wrong. So and again. So later on, when I realized that this is definitely a part of the Canadian culture, and Canadians are regarded as most polite in the world, and so I need to adjust that. So otherwise, I haven't any problem with the weather or the people, or so I'm pretty much good in adapting the situation. So
Good.
Yeah.
Viviana, how about you?
For us, I think it was several things. One of them, it was time. For us Mexicans, the time is relative. So when they invite you to a party, it's like, oh yeah, it's at 8 o'clock. Nobody shows up till like 9 or 10. So for us, it's like, okay, it's 8 o'clock. We had to be before 8 o'clock. So that was something that we had to adapt. Another thing, the Canadians are so welcoming. Once they, I feel like at the beginning it was kind of like a barrier between me and Canadians, but as soon as I started meeting people, it was Canadians, they just embrace you. It doesn't matter your color, your culture, and because we live in the state, close to the border with the States, we have encountered a lot of racism for sure when we were going to visit the States and everything. So it was totally different to see people embracing us as we were, even where we were flaws and everything. So that was good. But another thing that I'm thinking, the food. The food was adjustment for sure. We are in Mexico, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, everything is made from scratch. So when we came, it's like, oh, okay, in Mexico, the fruit is cheaper than everything else. The vegetables are super cheap. So here's totally different. If you want to eat healthier, is more expensive. So it was an adapting there too. Like just before, as a mom, I was like, oh, I know these brands, everything. And here I was like, how to read labels and be more conscious of what I bought. There's an experience where one day I was going to do spaghetti. So I went to the grocery store, grabbed what I thought it was like tomato sauce and spaghetti and everything. And I just grabbed it. So I opened the can, and when I dump it into the spaghetti, it was 2 whole tomatoes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, I had to read. It's not just the label that is just tomato sauce. I had to look for tomato sauce. So those things, the weather was a shock too for us culturally too, because you are used to like go out and like spend time outside with your family and just to learn how people hibernate, but not at the same time that they are doing things even if it's minus 25, just wear accordingly. But for us, you're like, nope, it is
stay at home, right?
It's to stay at home because it's minus 25. No, life goes on. So that was kind of like the things that I
so
think.
I also learned the same thing, about the punctuality of the time.
Okay.
Though India has the biggest, paradoxes. Everybody is running. Everybody. If you see the roads, any mall, any street, people are running, but nobody is on time. This is one of the biggest paradoxes, right? So I learned that if 9 o'clock I have an appointment, then I need to be there 10 minutes early.
Yep.
It took some time, but how can I be, avoid myself,
Sure.
not the culprit of that paradox, but, I slowly I learned that. So
Yeah, that's interesting. So certainly you've made the adjustment and you learned a few things along the way, but certainly there's probably some things that the both of you really miss from back home. So what are some of the things that you really sort of miss from India and from Mexico? VK?
Definitely I miss my family, my parents. What I think is parents are always a blessing. So if I'm not there, they definitely worry about me, and I am also worried about. So the parents I'm not with them, so that basically haunts me. Why I'm not with my parents. Family is definitely one of the reasons. Otherwise, my students, lots of students there, I miss them. So I think these are the two things that I really miss from people. Yeah.
I will say the same. Our family and the weather, the food, but especially our family. Like like I say, it's just family is the number one thing from Mexico. Like Mexicans are very, and the culture too. Like people is nice too. I miss that. But when you wait all that you miss with all the good stuff that you have in this country, it just kind of like evens a little bit. But yeah, for sure, the culture, the food, and family.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, family is basically, so
Sure.
I really miss my family.
Or we're meant to be like together, right? Like we're meant to be with your people, and that was one thing that when we decided to move, our family is like, you're separating yourself like totally from your whole core, your whole support to just go by yourself with your kids. And I'm like, it's just for a better future, for a better life for our kids.
So to follow up on that, I mean, yes, you're separated from your family and your home. Is there were you able to sort of I guess find a cultural, Mexican families or a cultural group in Brooks or in the area that sort of eased that sort of sense of separation a little bit? Did you find an Indian community?
Yeah, I mean, we have lots of Indian families here, so family is family. But definitely, if you want to have some sort of get together with the Indian cuisine or Indian festivals, some like Diwali or Holi, we have some families here, so we celebrate that together. So that definitely reduces some of the loneliness. Yeah,
sure.
For us too, we have found Mexican families, but at the same time, we have found other communities, other cultures that they have become the chosen family. So these friends that they are Canadians, we have from Arabia, like several cultures that South Africa. We have very good friends from South Africa that we will never met if we would have not moved. So we totally have find our people here to the family that is chosen by us.
That's the beauty
right?
of Brooks, right? So that's the beauty of Brooks. So you can find different kind of ethnicity with the same kind of love and so respect and
And that is a beautiful thing too that I have found here in Brooks, that even with so many diversity, so many other cultures, you find your people too. And I feel like respect has been a big part of our community, that even if we have different cultures, different religion, different beliefs, we live in harmony because of respect. Like that we respect each other, or each other's beliefs, each other's ideas. So it's definitely we have found our people too here.
That's great. That's good to hear. And of course, you've heard Brooks has often been referred to as the city of 100 hellos. And so the diversity that we find in this community. Can you tell me a little bit more about, from your perspective, and I know I've heard a little bit from both of you, here and outside, about just how great it is to have so many different ethnic groups and cultural groups that are all in the same area. So VK, can you tell me a little bit about your experience of working with such a diverse group of people in Brooks?
The people here are, most I have traveled all around the world, and definitely in very 4 or 5 cities of the Canada also. But I chose Brooks to be my home, apart from my hometown, because of the genuinity of the people here. They are very respectable, and they give respect and true to their heart and their soul. So that's what I need to give it back, and that's what make me to like this Brooks and Brooks, the people around here and whatever the ethnicity. So I really like the people here. Well, I can't express that.
That's good. Anything to add there?
The people, like I say, people is amazing here, and our kids. It was an amazing opportunity to move to Brooks because when we were in Mexico, you just see Mexicans, right? Like it's almost the same. You believe in the same thing, kind of like cultures and everything. And you go to the States, and it's almost kind of the same. Like there's not a lot of different ethnicities, right? So when we came, it was for our kids, it was amazing to see people from all over the world in one little city. So to my kids' best friends, their parents are not from Canada, so they were born here, but they are all around the world. So it's beautiful to see that you have this little city with so many different cultures, people, how they dress, how like they do, like it just it's like you're in a holiday. You see a lot of people from all over the world. And that too, like we have friends from South Africa, they're like, you have to come with us, you have to, we want to take you. And we're like, guys, you have to come to Mexico. So we have taken from some friends from here, take them to Mexico, and they can see that culture too. So it just expands your worldview, like the worldview.
Sure.
For sure, expanded it, and you grow so much as a person, being able to encounter that many people and different backgrounds, right?
So you see sort of the diversity the same way as a really positive force?
Oh yeah. There is no question. Undoubtedly, the diverse people and their gratitudes. So it's I can't explain. Because I was from the farmer's family in India. We lived in a remote village, so I just like the calm and serene environment. So that's why also it is one of the reasons that I like the Brooks.
Okay.
And we came from a big city, bigger than Calgary.
Oh.
So to come to this small community, it was a blessing because our neighbors knew our kids. Like their kids could go outside with their bikes all day long, come back, and we knew that they were going to be safe. So it was a perfect community to raise our kids, and now they're out in the world, and we're blessed that they have the opportunity to be in Brooks.
Great.
Yeah, means other the amenities are very, very at the short distances, right? You can go for Calgary is crazy. I was there for 5 years. Traffic, you can't control that.
Yeah.
And if you need to go to get a coffee, it takes around half an hour. By the time so that is also one of the reasons that Brooks is good for me.
That's good. So, with your experience moving and now living in Canada for as long as you have, do you think that there's still some misconceptions about immigration and immigrants that is still out there that you'd like to maybe address? Any of those misconceptions or so on?
Well, I will say definitely not like the States, for sure. Definitely no. I remember when we got married, my husband's like, do you want to move to the States and like legally, right? And I'm like, no, I don't want to move there. And he's like, what about Canada? I'm like, I would say no, but like, sure. I'm like, that will never happen. And here we are. I'm the person that said like, oh, I was a kid that I'm like, I don't want to learn English. I will never use it. Why I'm learning English? I'm in Mexico and speaking English every day.
Yeah.
So, but there definitely it is. It's not everybody for sure, but like in every family and in every culture, there's always the black sheep that people say, right? So there's people that they don't understand or that probably if we move is because we want a better life. We are hard workers. We did it legally. We did all the process. It was hard for sure. It took us like 6 years to paperwork after paperwork. It was definitely hard, but I feel like we do contribute to the economy of Canada. We do contribute to the society being good citizens, and I feel like yes, they are people that sells drugs in Mexico. They are people that they are the cartel and like people that they're bad people in Mexico, but it's not everybody. So there is a misconception like for like Mexicans or Colombians, and not everybody is like that. So people sometimes like, oh yeah, like you're a Mexican, right? So take their reserves for sure, but not everybody for sure. But still people that I would say maybe they're close-minded or like they haven't met you as a person. So the culture can have a procedure of bad culture, or they're slow, they don't want to work, they don't want to do this. But it's not everybody in that culture. Is each person is different, and you have to take time to meet them.
Yes,
for sure.
Good. Yeah. VK, many misconceptions that you think are that you'd like to explode? Any myths
About what?
about migration, or about the whole process of immigrants coming to Canada?
I think I won't see any misconceptions here, right? Only thing, like, once I asked my brother, would you like to come to Canada? He said, no, I'm not, I'm very happy in plus 20 rather than in minus 20.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, he was not sure that how we have all the, facilities here to curb that minus 20 or minus 40 degrees. So I think this is the only weather, I think, but they are not knowing knowing actually the facilities or whatever we have here. I'm sitting here in a shirt, and and they are wearing lots of clothes in 1 degree on, right? So I think the immigration process is very, very easy and suits for the every person.
Okay.
Whatever they are needing, so you have to supply that. So there, I think there is no misconceptions.
Okay. Good.
What I think.
Good. Okay, so we're just about here near the end of our time together. So just to sort of wrap up a little bit, any sort of thing that you want to share about, your dreams for the future, maybe for your children, or the future generation, and is there any advice that you'd give them based on your experiences? So VK.
Canada is definitely, very, very different when you come here, but definitely dedication, and you should target your goal, and you will definitely going to achieve it. In 2011, when I came here, the liquor store guy wanted me to open a brewery, and when I submitted the project, he raised his hand. Oh, I don't have that much money. And then I decided that I'm gonna open the brewery, and I opened the brewery, rather than going into the other, odd profiles like, opening a franchisee in food or something like that. So definitely, if you have a goal and you set your target, and Canada will give you everything to achieve your target. What I think is, so no other country would give you that all opportunities, or basically the path to achieve your target or your goal.
I will agree with VK. That is, Canada has a lot of opportunities, and sometimes when you are born into those opportunities, sometimes you don't see them, and you take them for granted. So if you see other countries and development, all the struggles that they go, all the opportunities that they don't have because they come from such and such a family, definitely Canada has the opportunities for whoever wants to work hard, be true to themselves, and I think like you're never too old to follow your dreams. You're never too old to start reinvent. You're never too old. Like you can always like change and do better. If you want a better life, just work hard. I feel like be true to yourself, to your beliefs, and don't give up. Another thing that I always tell my kids is just the only thing, if there's one thing that you learn from me, is to be grateful. That is the only thing. Like be grateful for every person that has help you go through something, for every person that brings you something. And I think if you're grateful, even for your life, like to be alive, you can go far.
That's great advice. So thank you very much for both of you for being with us today.
Thank you, sir. Thanks
Very much enjoyed the conversation.
for having me.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.